Hey, this is business storytelling coach and speaker Andy Henriquez, and I've got some exciting news. As many of you know, I had the opportunity to go to London earlier this year in January and speak at Lenka's extraordinary live event. That was a phenomenal experience. I got to meet some extraordinary coaches, some extraordinary business owners that are making great things happen. And then I started thinking to myself, how could I create some additional value for the people in London? And so here's what I've decided to do. I am bringing my signature training event, which is known as my Master Storyteller Academy, to London. And so I want to extend a very special invitation for you to join me May 26th and 27th in London.
Before I worked in education and social care, I worked in banking. And it was very much hard sell, hard sell, hard sell. It wasn't something that comes easy for me, and it still doesn't. So this is why I believe I've struggled in business, because I refuse to do that direct selling, because I'm not congruent with it. But when, as I said, he's told his story, I was just like, that's how I need to do it, but I need to learn how to do it.
Doing something so long, you get stuck in the same routines. And if I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow, if I wanted to impact more people, it was essential for me to be in a program like the Master Storyteller Academy in order to deliver that message in a concise way.
I wanted to be able to learn how I can share my story that I've been sharing for so many years, just kind of casually, how I can share that with a lot more passion and purpose and power to really get my point across.
Let me tell you real quickly who this is for. This is for the person who is either a speaker, a trainer, or a coach who wants to work on developing their signature story. This is for the person that wants to have a story that is so clear that it allows them to be able to attract their ideal customer and their client instead of always having to chase down their ideal customer and client. This is for the person who wants to literally make the transition from just having one-on-one conversations with their coaching clients, that now they want to have the confidence and actually have the content to be able to have a one-to-many conversation. In other words, the person who wants to get in front of the room and maximize and leverage their time so that they can attract more of their customers and their clients. This is for that person who's doing Facebook Lives, who's doing webinars, teleseminars, that is getting in front of live audiences, and you really want to be able to connect with people at an entirely different level, and you clearly understand that in order for you to do that, you need to have a signature story.
Being able to be here in this immersive, incredibly powerful and positive environment has taken just my own perspective on my own story to another level.
So let me just share with you what we'll be covering at the Master Storyteller Academy. First of all, this is a 2-day transformational training experience. And I call it an experience because this is not your regular training. We're gonna have a bunch of fun, but most importantly, we're gonna have a bunch of breakthroughs and transformations are going to take place. We're gonna be focusing on 3 pillars. The first pillar is discover. I personally am going to help you to discover what your signature story is. This is the story that you're going to be using over and over again. This is a story that allows you to connect with your tribe, connect with your audience, connect with your ideal customer and your ideal client. And in order for us to help you to discover what your signature story is, there are 3 areas that we just consider. Number 1, we look at any area in your life where you've undergone a significant challenge, because oftentimes there's a great story there. We also consider any moment in your life where you have undergone a defining moment. Some of our best stories are around our defining moments. And finally, the last place that we take a look are any area in your life where you've actually gone through a major transition. Those transitional stories are sometimes some of the best stories that we can utilize to allow us to connect with our tribe and connect with our customers. The second pillar that we're going to be focusing on is actually developing. We're going to spend some time to actually develop your story. Now, this is super, super important, because you don't want to just get in front of your audience, turn on a laptop, turn on a live stream, step on the stage, and just try to share and tell your story. You've got to make sure that you actually develop the story. And so there's a couple of key essential things that I'm going to help you with. One of the things I'm going to help you with is try to figure out exactly how you should structure your story. And so we're gonna build out your story and figure out exactly how your story should be structured so it has the level of impact that you really truly want. The other thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna look at your story and we're gonna consider all the things that you share in your story, and we are literally gonna do what I like to call trim the fat. In other words, we're gonna find the aspects of your story that you're putting into your story, but it's not necessarily adding value to your story. And we're gonna make sure that anything that's in your story that's not adding value, we're gonna take it out. And those things that are really important to your story, that add tremendous value to your story, that allows you to connect with your audience, we're gonna make sure that we work on those things and we really truly develop them. Now, here's the other thing that I know. Most of the time as a speaker and as a coach, your audience is sometimes changing. Sometimes your ideal customer and client comes from many different backgrounds and they have a different backstory. So how do you connect with them with your story? Well, guess what? I've got the answer for you. We're gonna make sure that we figure out what the universal theme is in your story. And the universal theme is what is gonna allow your story to be able to connect regardless of who it is that's listening in on your message. So first of all, remember I told you, we're gonna first discover what your signature story is, and then we're gonna develop it. But listen, don't think that you can come to an Andy Henriquez Master Storyteller Academy training and not actually practice telling your story. So the third pillar is delivery. You are going to have countless opportunities to practice sharing and telling your story. You're going to be partnering up with other people who are part of this training. You're going to be sharing your story, but most importantly, you're going to be receiving live feedback. Now listen, before you start panicking, I want you to know that this is going to be a safe environment for you to be able to practice your story and build the confidence to be able to share your story so that the next time you're going to be doing a Facebook Live, the next time you're doing a webinar, the next time that you're getting in front of an audience, you're going to be able to connect with them in ways that you could not even imagine.
When I'm sitting in the training and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, you know, there's no story, I can't think of anything. But then, I mean, he just has a way of whenever he's working with you to pull it out of you, pull some clarity, some emotions out that you thought you didn't have.
The training itself, by breaking down the story into pieces and learning how it affects people and learning how to deliver it better, was life-changing. Nothing short of life-changing.
Him putting it together in structure has just made it much more clearer for me.
With having all of these tools that Andy has taught us to make sure that I'm not just inspiring people with a positive message, but I'm moving them, compelling them to take action, which is the only way that we're going to make a difference in this world.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on the registration button and make sure that you secure your seat right away. Now, the reason why I want you to do that is because we have a limited amount of seats and I want to make sure that you are in the room. Listen, I know without a shadow of a doubt that this training is going to completely transform your business because you're going to be able to get a story that you're going to be able to leverage and use over and over again, and it's going to allow you to attract your ideal customer, your client, and connect with them in ways that you have never had before. I can't wait to see you at the Master Storyteller Academy in London.